I was muted. Repeat. Hello, ladies of the temple. Welcome to tonight's Temple Talk. I'm really excited to be here with you on this very special Easter Monday. And I'm thrilled to bring together the Easter story through the lens of the Priestess Path, and specifically my lineage line, and the lineage line of the women that step onto this path. This is a very important conversation to be having. So ultimately, finding ways that all of the ancient and current day religions and spiritualities merge together. How are we actually more similar than we are different? That's one of the big teachings of the Priestess Path, the mystic Priestess Path specifically. So welcome, new ladies, to the temple. Grab your journal, grab a pen, grab your favorite beverage and a candle to light if you desire. Tonight, I lit this candle in honor of the Christ light within all of us, the illuminary, expansive aspect of us that is connected to all things. And I'm really excited tonight to weave in the powerful message of Yeshua the Christ and what some of the deeper underlying messages was that he was bringing to the planet in his time. That's had some different interpretations since, and what it means here in the temple. So welcome, whatever your belief system is and your spiritual path, this is a place where we explore all of it without judgment. And so it's the first thing I want to say is it's really important for you to find your truth in the bigger story. And what I'm going to share tonight is the truth that I've come to, that I've landed on, walking the path of the priestess for many years now, exploring human consciousness and expansion and our abilities to transform our lives and create the life we came here to create and the work that we came here to manifest in the world as visionary, mission-driven women with a heart of service. And this story is the one that I finally landed on that resonated the most with my soul. And it's really important, like I said, that you find the story that resonates the most with your soul. And perhaps the story that I'll share tonight will resonate with you to allow you to open and expand into another possibility for yourself and for your life. So that's the first thing that I want to make very clear about tonight, because some of what I'm going to share is going to perhaps go against what you've been told or what you've believed up until this point. And what I sense is if you're here in the temple, then you have been someone that's called to lead an unconditional life. You knew that you came into the world to do something important, and what you were here to do was different from what has ever been done before. You're a visionary. To be a visionary is to be someone that sees a different future that maybe has not currently been expressed in the world, to see a possibility for us as in our humanity that maybe we have not witnessed before. And the women that walk onto this path, many of which identify with being oracles of the new earth. And what it means to be an oracle of the new earth, because Yeshua the Christ was an oracle. He was open to bring through the sacred medicine of the divine relationship he had with his Father God. And so as women walking this path, we open up to our oracle abilities to recognize that we see things differently, that we see outside the box. In fact, we resist the box completely. I did a post about this right before the Easter weekend because I was really feeling it. We see things differently. We resist boxes because we're here to find a new way. We're here to create a new way. We're here to carve a new path. And so tonight I'm going to be weaving in some quantum physics, some quantum mechanics, some science, along with spirituality, and weave it all into the Easter story through this view. So first thing that was a huge wake-up call for me when I found this story of Yeshua the Christ was that not much is said about what he did for 30 years to prepare himself for his ministry. He, in my belief system and perspective, and much of the study that I've done, is that he was studying the ancient Eastern philosophies on how to ascend the human experience, how to ascend the human wounding, how to ascend the physical human body. I'm also going to weave in some conversation around 3D to 5D consciousness and what that really means. There's also something called a Hawkins Scale. So the Hawkins Scale is a scientific way to rate the energy in an environment. And a lot of research has been done around this now, which is really fascinating. It helps us understand what ascension really means. What is the state of mind that we go into when we're in a meditative state or when we're in a spiritual circle doing a guided process, when we come together to ascend the struggle of the human dynamic of the 3D world. And so Yeshua, as I call him, I didn't put his name in the description because a lot of people don't know that that is his name. Yeshua was the Jewish pronunciation of his name that we now know as Jesus. It's spelled different ways depending on how you find it in your perspective and belief system. And so he spent 30 years mastering the art of ascension, mastering the art of recognizing his expansive soul to such a degree that he knew that was the only way he was going to be able to do the work he came here to do. He said, "This you too will do and more." And so that has stuck with me beyond so much else of what he said, of the many amazing things that he said, because to me, what part of that is confusing? It's clear as it could possibly be. He came here to show us what we're actually capable of. He came here to show us what we are capable of creating. He came here to show us the vast expansiveness of our soul that he spoke about in union with his Holy Trinity, with the Holy Spirit, with his Father, the Father that he spoke to in his words. I use different words. It's important that you find the words that work for you, whether it's God the Father, the Holy Trinity, whether it's, ascended masters that you feel connected to, Holy Spirit, the Spirit, life force, universal life force, whatever you want to use. To me, it's all the same energy. And so he studied in mystery schools of ancient Egypt and of the East, of Buddhist principles, to understand the transcendence of human nature that we're capable of, so he could then bring that message to the masses. That I truly believe that we are capable of doing everything that he did, the miracles that he created and the miraculous healings that he created, and walking on water, all of that is a state of transcendent consciousness beyond the physical body. So what does that mean when it comes to 3D and 5D reality? So there's aspects of what you desire to create in your life that you've not been able to create yet, because you've been trying to create them from the 3D consciousness, which is a very physical way of being in the world. Like, I can only create what I can see, or I can only create that I can recognize will happen because of A, B, and C circumstances. This type of conversation is around ascending the physical realm to recognize that everything's energy. So we enter the realm of quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Everything is energy. And I'll get back to the Hawkins Scale as well. There's a lot to cover. So everything is energy. Whatever we focus on expands. Whatever we put the most attention to is what creates in the physical realm. And so everything was a thought form first. And so everything in our reality was a thought before it became a physical reality. And so if you want to create something different in your life, it's going to have to come from the place of creation of all things, which is the void of all creation, which is a feminine space. It's the space of all possibility. It's the space of the void. It's the space of the quiet within you. And Yeshua knew that through his extensive meditative practice, that it was going within that had him visualize the world he desired to see. And then he took action based on that vision. And that is one of the most powerful things we can be doing at this time, in this very special time of our spiritual evolution, when we're transcending so much. Many of us are integrating a very powerful transcendent year last year. We were shown so many things about ourselves and about the world and what's not working any longer, and what we're desiring to commit to instead. We're in the void of the unknown. We're in the space of the clean slate. And even though we just had spring equinox and we're starting to move into summertime energy, because of the status of the pandemic on the planet right now, that's not fully the energy that everyone is stepping into. It's coming, but not everyone that's not available to everyone yet. There's still a space where we're being asked to still stay in the void. That a lot of lessons were learned, we're recognizing a lot of things, and there's a little bit more work to be done. And so I'm imagining, and raise your hand or drop an emoji here in the comments, that you're sensing a lot of this, that this past year of transcendence has been tremendous. And you're now in the space of, what do I want instead? What do I actually want to create for my life? What does it look like? And so Yeshua would go into himself, into a deep meditative state, imagine the life, the reality he saw for humanity. And then he would act according to that. And that became his ministry. His ministry was one of love, of unity consciousness. He was a rebel. He was a visionary. He lived outside the box. That's not the energy that has been carried forward in the most way and most traditional interpretations of his life. But that's the Yeshua that I know. And that's the Yeshua that a lot of you sense and that a lot of you may very well know. And I would love to hear in the comments your experience of him, because he and his divine partner, Mary Magdalene, were divine partners in the embodiment of the masculine and feminine principle. And they came in equal partnership, knowing that this was the ministry they were meant to bring forth, that was unity consciousness, that was more than enough for everyone, that was not power over, but power from within. He showed us the way to access the Christ-like consciousness within us, that he was showing us what's possible for our lives. He was showing us an aspect of ourselves that so many people rebelled against because it was so far out of their box. And so a strong message I feel like he was pouring through in my walk in preparation for tonight is that you've been feeling the fear of stepping out long enough. It's time to bring your message forward. The world is ready. It's time for you, leaders of the light, you of the Magdalene Rose line, especially those women that step onto the Mystic Priestess Path, and many of you here in the temple are feeling the call that it is time. It's time to write the book. It's time to launch the inspired business. It's time to start the creative project or nonprofit or whatever form it's meant to come in, to do the work you know you came here to do. People are ready. People are, in fact, desperate for your message, for your love, for your vision to come forth. It's really important, and now is the time. Do you think that Yeshua might have faced some fear in stepping out? Can you imagine? He is here to show us, yes, what we are capable of. He's also here to show us that we're not alone, that there are many of us that are gathering, legions of the light, that are aligning ourselves to come be what we came here to be. And on the Mystic Priestess Path, we must face all the inner resistance and shadow conversations within ourselves that has had us believe that we're anything less than that up until this point. We do the forgiveness work, the shadow work, the reflection work within ourselves to recognize that our life and our voice matters, and it's important that we're here. And everything we've experienced up until this point has prepared us for this. Everything that he experienced up until this point, he stepped into his ministry, prepared him for that. Everything Magdalene did up until the point that they met and their time together was ignited, prepared her for that. They knew that's what they were here for. And so you know that you're here for something important. And you felt blocked or stuck in moving forward into that. And that's what this work is about. So the last thing I want to share is the Hawkins Scale, because I brought it up earlier. The Hawkins Scale is a way to rate the energy in a room or within an individual. And it's said that most people are existing around 200, 300, 400 on the scale. So the scale goes from 0 to 1,000. It's said that Yeshua created miracles in the 700 to 900 range, and pure ascension is 1,000. You just transcend your body and join the universal life force of all creation that created you in the first place. And so when we gather together in these ways to open, expand our consciousness, we're opening our energy body, we're expanding on the energy scale and imagining a radio dial. There's different frequencies. You turn the old school dial until you reach the frequency of the radio station you want to listen to. This work is about tuning and attuning our ability to shift our frequency till we get to the one we want to be in more. And that's what meditation and time in nature and self-care practices and sacred sisterhood and inspired programs and inspired books and mentors are all about, is supporting us and raising our vibration, because everything you want to create in your life has got to come from a different place than where you are right now, or you would have created it already. And it's expanding human consciousness, which is what Yeshua showed us is possible. And so on the Hawkins Scale, especially through the Priestess Path and the 9-month immersion that we do every time we gather together in Sacred Circle to do ritual and breakthrough exercises and visualizations and connecting from the heart, we're raising the vibration, literally like one of those machines where you blow into and you see the little ball go up. It's like testing your lung capacity. That's like the energetic scale, the Hawkins Scale. We expand our capacity to receive. We expand our conscious awareness into what we desire more of instead. And so this is the work, is how do we continue to dance down in the 3D reality and recognize the work that we're doing to build ourselves and expand into what we're desiring more of. And that highest level of expansion and creation lives in 600, 700, 800 and beyond scale. And so all the practices that we do on the path expand us and continue to make this easier. So we're no longer living in the victim perspective that life is just happening to me, people are doing things to me, and I just respond. Where we build up and recognize, oh, I was actually a part of creating that for a reason. What's the lesson and the deeper essence of that? What's the shadow perspective? What's the projection I was creating? Oh, well, actually, I want this instead. So how do we continue to dance in these upper realms? So Yeshua is a master of that. So, see if there's anything else I meant to share this evening. So if you're ready to recognize that you're here for something important, if you felt blocked or stuck in moving forward into it, we're doing an incredible 2-month Priestess Path immersion. It's a priestess activation course starting in May. And this is an opportunity for you to experience what it's like to move your way up the Hawkins Scale, to recognize that you're here for something important, and all that you're meant to manifest and create, including your destiny and purpose, live up here. And most of us are hanging out down here. And so how do we continue to build on the scale, expand our capacity to receive, expand our consciousness within our bodies to welcome in more? There's more than enough for everyone of time, resources, circumstances, people, love. There's more than enough. It's a feminine perspective, more than enough. And so we just get to heal our minds to recognize all that's available to us at all times. And so I'll drop the link to the Priestess Activation course here in the comments below. We have an incredible group joining. We're going to have a bonus group launch call in April to ignite your vision for what you want to create. We have special pricing happening tonight until midnight, Easter Monday. It's going to be an incredible opportunity, ladies. It's time to come together, receive support, to be seen and heard in your authenticity, to recognize you're here for something important, and to take divine right action in alignment with that of what Yeshua and many of the ascended masters, Magdalene and all the saints are here to show us what we're capable of. We dance with all of them through this path, do guided processes and healings with all of them that show up. It's a really incredible opportunity. So much love and blessings. I look forward to hearing what you received from tonight, and so excited about our amazing group forming starting in May. Some incredible opportunities for you to jump in by midnight tonight. So I'll put the link. Check out the details. We would love to have you. Much love and blessings, and good night for now. I look forward to hearing in the comments what you received.